Does that show... Okay, it does show the correct thumbnail if I look this way. So I'll take that. Okay, good enough. I'll keep this up as a chat monitor as I usually do. I'm also going to check and make sure the volume's good. So bear with me. Okay, that seems pretty reasonable. Oh, that's beautiful. That's a great volume. Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. So that's good. It's not weird at all. Nice. So I'm just gonna put this Mon's front sprites up for people to see. So this is what I'm basing it on, are those little tiny sprites in the corners. Thank you, Finn. This is very comfortable, you know. This is so comfortable. Alright, I'm gonna need this and this to work on this. Okay, sorry, I'm just pulling up reference. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do for this. Hey, Vinny. Hey, Vinny. Hey. Hey. Are you happy? Oh, he's always happy. Happy to be here. Okay, let me pull it a little closer. Alright. So... do we have... we did have the back sprite for this. I don't recall if we had... or sorry, I know we had the front sprite for this. I don't know if we had the back sprite design. No. At least not in these images. That's fun. Alright. Okay. Cool. That was worth checking. So I just recently did the front sprite work on this. So what I'm going to be starting from is just kind of pulling in the colors from that. At least some of them, the ones that are present in this sprite. I'm going to kind of copy those over. So I need all my shades of green. That's 3, 4, 5. More like shades of teal. I actually quite like this highlight shape. This is not bad. I might not be making a huge change to it. This here's this outline, and this here is this outline. Okay. So that's that. There's a little bit of cracks on the back here. So I might change where those become apparent a bit. Alright, so in the meantime, let's get this darker green, medium green, darker green. This is not really medium, this is dark. This is shadow. This is neutral. This is shadow. This is neutral. All right. One thing I think I want to do with this is kind of make this structure thinner, because if you look in the you don't have it nearly as visible as reference, but the front sprite, this feels like it's a lot thinner of a sheet on the head. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to quite literally like thin it. It's just tricky because it's like, I think to thin it I'm gonna have to shave it, because this feels proportionately right, like where the eye is here. So it's gonna be interesting. Alright, I'm gonna start with this. Because we changed the color of this ball. With that, I'm gonna get rid of those pixels, and instead put like 1 pixel of green to kind of suggest where that's coming from. And to make this feel less weird, I'm gonna kind of expand this so we can bring some of that in. Okay. Where to begin? I think one is, I feel like this is gonna need to go out a little more like that. And do that. Next thing I'm gonna need is I need to put this in here. This one's mouth feels a little round at the end in the artwork, so I'm going to try to round the mouth a little bit. I'm also going to give you guys a pleasant background color to look at. Yeah, it's not bad. That's nice. It's like a nice, like, cardboardy, natural fiber, papery kind of feeling background. That's nice. That's quite pretty. What I think I'm going to do here is I'm just going to reshape this a bit. Yeah, that feels a little better. I just don't want it to feel as jagged as it was. Maybe another one in? It was a little too straight. I think what I want to do with this one, kind of start it a little more in. Alright, I think that's a pretty good way to shape that. Alright, I think those shapes are working better for it. So that's pretty good. So I'm kind of like doing this in a very scattershot sort of way. But just trust me. I think it's coming along. Alright, so I want to make this thicker at the brow. But then I want to thin it. I think this shape is probably better for this. The tricky part is going to be it has like a texture to it, and I have to convey that to the best of my ability. So it looks like there's like a ridge. It's about here. That dips in. Then the next one is about here. I honestly probably do that. to bring that down more. Okay. I want to try to get. He has like this like little fang. I want to try to capture that here. If I can. Trying to think how this would be. Lit slash shaded. You know what I'm realizing? Okay, I think I get it. I get what's off here. This is not quite as tall as I currently have it. Also means this needs to tuck in. Okay, I think that actually kind of solves the problem I had. Ooh. Okay. Jeez. Back of this head is giving me so much trouble, but I think I've gotten to where I kind of want it to be. There we go. Makes it look too round. Alright. Get rid of all these cracks. So one thing that we tweaked, so this design originally had a bunch of like these cracks running down it. And something that we were tweaking with it was how those cracks are kind of shown. So there's kind of, at the chest, we had this like central core that had this glow. And then there were cracks coming out from that. And those cracks kind of start at the middle of the neck, go down, kind of hit that central core, and then they spread into 3 different directions. One of those directions comes around the side here. Bear with me as I just... I think this needs to go out more. It's gonna be a weird one. I'm gonna move this to a new layer. This needs to go down more steeply. Okay, I think that has a better symmetry to it. Okay. I think that structure is better to communicate what it needs to, you know, physically be. I think that helps convey the length of the tail more. Okay. Anyways, the cracks that I mentioned earlier need to show up. So those kind of come in and they poke in below the wings. So that's going to kind of have to be what I use to convey that. So let's bring in I'm going to slightly adjust the angle of this. I think these need to be further back. Should I? So honestly, I think it is actually just not visible. The more I look at this, the more I'm like, no, that leg's just not there. That ain't where it would be. Okay. Anyways, this should probably come in around here. Okay. Okay. Cool, and then let's get a nice little highlight here. Like that. Keep doing that. Keep doing it. Okay. Okay. I feel like this ball does need to shift further. Whoa, ma'am. Hi, Scam.
Yuppies.
Nice, Scam. Was this nice?
It's blinking.
think that's pretty good. Just need to merge these. Center it. Oh, I see an issue here. There. Small tweak, but important. Okay. This feels a little off still. I don't think it would be fixed by me doing this. Maybe. No, maybe it is. Never mind. I quite like that. All right. Okay. I have set its color map to align with the one that it's currently based on. So I actually have a full mapped palette. Don't mind me. Just setting this up to be easily compared. I should probably center this one too. Or I should align this one's face to the edge that this one's faces. So it's 20 pixels there, 17 pixels there. Seventeen. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ben. Get Chuck in here.
I just want to see is that comparison like. Oh, that back wing looks so much nicer. The body juts forward more, the tail bumps backwards more. The lighting more. The only thing, and I feel like this is going to be an iffy one for Mike, we'll see, is if the front plate and the head, like the ridge on the back of the head / neck, are acceptable. My only thought is maybe it's a little too strong. You know, like... If I do that, it makes it look kind of like round, though. It's like an octopus siphon, or not siphon, but like octopus, like mantle thing. Oh, no, Mike is a fan. Okay, I'll take it. I do think I want to try to find a way to soften this a little more. Alright. I'm pleasantly surprised and happy that that went over well. So now we get to the fun part. So I've already done the shiny palette on this. So this is actually a very easy one to convert. I literally just have to go. So in GIMP, I mean, no one uses GIMP, but I use GIMP. And in GIMP, if you have a color map set with like an index color map, you can set a new one by just going to the set color map option, and then you just pick the one you want. In this case, we're looking for this one. Blam. I know, I was I was trying to figure out, I was like, okay, so he's kind of got this like rotund looking thing, you know, we said it almost looked like an ear, and I was like, structurally, how does that interact with this head plate? And then I was thinking, well, here's that structure that we see in our front sprite. and then you know, here's the back of it. I was thinking, like, you know, when you have like a piece of glass where someone's like kind of like cleaved it, but then they polish it up so that it doesn't look sharp anymore, but it's kind of like this like smooth glossy end of a piece of glass. That's what I was thinking with it. I can't think of an example of something that looks like that, but that's what I was thinking of. I'm quite happy with how strong the gold here looks. That's nice. The cyan tail is quite bright and vibrant. I'm happy with how the shiny palette swaps over. Sometimes, like, you know, you put the shiny palette on and you're like, oh, well, that's different than I thought it would look when you're like doing it on the back spray, because sometimes they use colors in different ways, or like don't use colors that are used on like the front sprite. Little notch. I'm trying to figure out which detail you're referencing. Little notch. Like of the, like at the mouth, like right here. I can. Are we talking this little spot here? Or are we talking like on this structure? Oh, the joint between the head and neck. Oh, I see. Like this zone. This is the zone. You know, I futzed with that a lot to get it to a point where I was satisfied with how it blended into, you know, this corner and also into the head here. And having that like little bit of jaw jut under. Oh, the dark pixel. Oh, like right here? That zone? Because this was like as I was softening things. Yeah, okay, that's fair. That was as I was softening things. That was a spot that I was paying a lot of attention to. Well, that's that one. How long did I spend on that sprite alone? I've spent an hour and a half just on this back sprite, bashing my face against a wall, but it worked. I probably futzed with the ridge on the back of the head for a good 30 minutes before I was satisfied in like near silence. It's just like, why you no turn out how I want? Why you no turn out how I want? Okay, you turned out how I want now. Alright, let's whoop. So I might not have time to do the front sprite of Vwychrome. But that's okay. I can do that soon enough anyways. No, one thing that I did, well, actually wait, I can use layers to highlight this. So don't mind the fact that this is going to be a not shiny one on top of the shiny one. So here you can see like how the silhouette changed. Like that slight shave on the like faceplate. The back wing shifting to kind of be a little rounder. And to stick out just a little further. The ball on the tail moving further out and the tail being extended and then having that like little gap at the bottom. The stomach being slightly more, I don't want to say distended, but like just a tiny bit out so that it smooths that a bit more, and then also just gave more room for you to go like, oh yeah, realistically the legs are somewhere like down in this zone, like down here. I did almost try to put a leg on it, and then as I tried to put the leg on it, I'm like, this feels wrong no matter where I place it. I don't think the legs are visible no matter what. I was like, maybe there's a chance that you could get like one little glimpse of leg as the sprite goes uppy down. And then I was like, no, you cannot. You cannot see that. I think my favorite little spot is the little like mouth bit though. This it's just very satisfying to be like the way like, because I put that like little like, you know, interior reflection that, you know, you get with the glass, and then put that like as its lip, just so that it like pops a little bit. And also, oh, don't punch the mic. We have like this, I put the little tooth there as well, which I think that helps this one to feel both a little more different, because there's some structures on this line that could feel potentially a bit similar to the Ouroboros and Hodag and Grootslang line, because they both have those like head structures, you know, as like key elements of their designs. So that was one thing I tried to do, was like really differentiate how their like at least for the first stage, how the like back of the head looks. I didn't want it to end up being too similar, because this one it's just kind of flat, and you know, there's this suggestion that it's like slightly concave, but I wanted this one to like jut out more and kind of have more body. And realistically, I mean, you know, we don't have the back sprites for the other ones in the line with the Robro, but like Hododo definitely has a very similar back of head structure to this one. I mean, if I put that in, like, you can see, you know, that realistically there's going to be a spot where this juts up and back in at the back of the neck a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be a huge problem. I think it's going to be able to be differentiated both with a slight concavity here and also the the tail, obviously, going up and around. And that one, that'll make it more different. It's funny, I'm realizing as I look at some of these other sprites, we have a few things that have those sorts of structures. Can you tell we like them? Because, like, arguably Malagama, because it has its, like, spiky head crest, kind of has, you know, a bit of that. It also has, like, that faceplate going on. And then, you know, arguably the same happens with Corgodile, but it's just like the horns jutting up. So it's like it's still like on that brow to the back of the head. You have something that adds height and dimension. I don't know if I count Revigators, because Revigator has it just has like plating on the whole body, but it does have some head spike stuff going on, you know? Desperburn has the skull mask. It's fun. It's fun. We have a lot of fun, like, head ridges and face masks on reptilian things, and I think that's cool. it's a fun design piece to include. Arguably, Relicobra's urn form has a little doodad on his head, but it's not nearly as much. That's fun. That's fun. But yeah, since this sprite took me like an hour and a half, I think that's gonna be the only one that I sprite on this stream. But do I have any interesting things I can pull in from somewhere else to go, wow, look at that. No, not really. Though I will notice, I will note. So I was just looking at other sprites I've worked on recently, and like specifically ones from my like Monster Tamer RTS project. And I was like, do I have any head ridges in there? I don't have a head ridge in there. I've saved my head ridges for here when I was coming up with things that had head ridges, I guess. Granted, I think everyone who made multiple designs in Fakemon has done at least one head ridge, because I know I did the early Malagama design. I think you did early Revigator and early Corgodile. I did the Oroboro line early stuff. You know, this one was a collaborative effort from both Suri and Len. Okay, but like he wound up with a head ridge based on that, you know. So that's what all I'm saying is, you know, we put head ridges on a lot of bad boys, and everyone did. We all did. This is everyone contributed to the head ridge party. That's nice though. Alright, I'm gonna put those. So what else do I have? Do I have anything interesting I can throw out here? I mean, I guess I haven't shown this yet on stream. But bear with me, I say. Zoom this in and then close this. It should auto jump to the other one. Yay, it does. Look at that. Look at that. Yay. So this is the... That's fair. I mean, to be fair, my brothers only contributed like one each. Because Brett's was the barbecue line. And then Sean's was the Miramar line. So they don't have head ridges, but they each only contributed one, so... And Brett didn't do anything for barbecue or butane other than come up with a name and be like, haha, that's funny. You should do that. And so I was like, sure. Let's do it. But this here is a grid of all of the projects that I've got cooking right now. And like colors assigned to each one. I'm still debating if I'm gonna make this one the gold color from it, or if I'm gonna keep it the like desaturated navy blue type vibe. More to come on this project soon. Don't mind that its shorthand is SM. I needed 2 letters. Those are the 2 I chose. Don't worry about it. It's no different than shortening Pokemon to PM. Yeah, it's just Super Mario. It's Super Mario. It's not something that might be preceded by a different 2 letters. Oh, I did. I made a placeholder graphic for my Monster Tamer RTS. I can show that off. This is just a temporary thing because I need logos in my life. Don't ask me why. So I made this as a quick. It's not perfect, but I'm pretty happy with how it looks. And this uses that shade of red, which I do know I want that to be one of the branding colors. I was very happy with that like berryish blood red. And then the white / blue here is meant to be like vaguely sword-like. I don't think it comes through that well, but you know, this was I quickly threw something together to have a concept because you know, obviously this isn't a named project just yet, but I'm quite happy with how it came out despite all that. You can see like there's some artifacting with how I just used like GIMP's built-in bevel thing. Like I didn't actually use like a beveling system. Like I could have beveled this in PowerPoint and I did not. I had restraint. It would probably have looked better, but I had restraint. But yeah, I threw this together just because I wanted to have some sort of concept of a logo. And you know, realistically, when I have an actual title and stuff like that, I do think I want to keep this sort of a structure to it where there's like this big white, you know, sword pillory looking thing, you know, some structure in there. Again, I have no name for this project yet, which is funny. It's usually one of the things that I come up with relatively early on for my projects. I come up with a name, not always the final name, but like a name, but for now, that's what this one is. Also, I will note on a finalized version, this would be perfectly centered because these would be equally sized characters on the sides. So this structure here, you know, assuming that it would have 3 letters visible, it would do that. And then if it was just being shortened to 3 letters or something, like if the title had three words and it was being abbreviated like this, this here would be gone. You wouldn't have this, like, you know, letters over the top, but you would have them like splashes of like blood or something. I don't know. I was inspired by, you know, the old like Age of Empires logos that were very they had a clear sense of like a material to them. You know, it wasn't minimalist work. Oh, I didn't know you still had you open. I have Vwychrome. Do I have any other interesting things? I don't think I ever shared this anywhere on stream or anything. Close this. This. So my oldest brother, I don't remember where this idea came from. Oh, I remember now. So he was telling a story about how he realized while he was like doing some house cleaning that he was straight up dressed like a Mario bro. Like I think sans suspenders. Because he had like he has a brown cap that he wears. He had that and like brown pants and like a dark gray shirt or something like that. Maybe he even had suspenders. I can't remember. And we thought it was funny, and so I spent some time, I think on a lunch break while I was at work, throwing together. So my oldest brother, he hasn't streamed in a long time, but he streams as Sean the Bear. His first name is Sean. I chose to name his Mario bro Giovanni because Giovanni and Sean both share the root of John, which I did not know, but it makes sense. So I chose for him to be Giovanni. He wanted to be Giuseppe. I liked Giovanni more because I think Giovanni Mario has a better ring to it than Giuseppe Mario, but I don't know. I feel like at that point we're getting into the weeds. But I just wanted to share this because this was a goofy thing I did one day. Also, notably, he is taller than Luigi, and this is an accurate amount taller based on his height and Luigi's rough height. My brother would have 1 extra pixel on him. Almost 2, but at least 1 extra. This was also designed to like fit within the height of their standing sprites, though obviously I don't think his running sprite would work at all as a result of that. But that was a fun little silly side project to do. I also wanted my brother to have a skin tone that would feel similar to theirs. So I literally, I think, averaged what Mario's red and Luigi's orange were to get these like peach tones. I also get my brother glasses. Which, this reminds me, I have a Mario bro now. I never talk about this type of stuff on stream. Instead I've just I share it when it is done. But let me pull up. So obviously, like I shared the team art for Super Mario Mon when it was done by my good friend 4 Dozen Eggs. Find him on the internet, commission him. If you are hiring for actual jobs in art, hire him, please. I'm sure he will do your project a lot of good. Let me just shrink that so it's not competing with everything on the sides. But yeah, I have a Mario Bro now. Here he is. This is my Mario Bro. Giuseppe Vine. Exactly. Give 4 Dozen Eggs money. But yeah, I have a Mario Bro now. It was fun coming up with the palette for my Mario Bro because I was like, I want him to feel within my channel colors, and I realized that that's basically Waluigi. Almost identically. Because he's got the like the purple, you know, going on in this zone. You know, I had black suspenders because, you know, obviously, like, I have the purple and then the black below it, all my branding, and then, you know, I wanted my buttons to be silver because I like that more than gold, which that is not a Waluigi thing. I think Waluigi's are gold. Pretty sure. Let me check that. Yes. Yeah, Waluigi's buttons are yellow. So, ha. I did something different. So yeah, this helps distinguish, and then obviously the shoes not being freaking elf shoes. I should at some point. Especially since I already have my brothers. I think the funniest thing is that Mario's hat adds so much height to his head that he's... If I was standing next to Mario, it'd only be a little taller than him if he has his hat on. But if you were to touch the top of his skull and the top of my skull, I'd be like a head taller. But his hair and hat are just so big. I love how he got these splashes in. This was fun because I wanted to have Yub in the water. I thought that would be really funny. Initially, my idea was to have Yub like sitting in the water, like butt on the ground, body rising out of the water, such that her arms are like in the air, but she still has like little pool floaties on them. I thought that would be really funny. But then 4 Dozen Eggs was like, yo, how about this? And sent me a sketch of her laying down, and I'm like, wait. And like the water level was initially really high. I was like, no, make her float more. She is too fat to be under the water. If she's laying on her back like this with floaties, she needs to be like super buoyant, like just floating, just stomach fully out of the water like a freaking dead whale. Just let her just be like this like bubble on the surface of the water. And so that was what we went with. I love Yub. And then this was like another little design note I had, is I wanted to have my Mr. Blizzard being chased by my boss brolder, since they're kind of dichotomous beings. And also Mr. Blizzard just looks nervous. So I was like, I want you to lean into the nervousness and give me Mr. Blizzard being chased. No, Mario 1 was awesome, and it's so fun to have this art now as kind of like a way to remember it. I shared this in the official Mariomon Discord, and there was a lot of positive response to it, both from the lead pixel artist on Mariomon. At least I believe Jordanos was the lead pixel artist. I could be remembering their role wrong, but I think that was what happened, or at least he did most of the pixel art. Like, there were other pixel artists, but he did like the majority of like the like battle sprites or something like that, or was like the final review step of any battle sprites that were submitted. But like, he thought this was so sick. It was really cool. I'm hoping that somehow that art got to like Alpharad's eyes, and then he goes, "Man, you know, I have this project that I want done. let me see about this guy." I don't know if that would ever happen, but you know, I gotta show where I can, and I admitted I am shelling, but I gotta show. And everyone respected my shell, so I will accept that. You know, they could have said, no, delete that, you can't shill in here. But no one got mad from the team, and the message is still there, so that's good. I still think it's really funny that I probably almost worked on this game and probably applied for it unknowingly. And was also probably not under consideration due to my noted in my thing. I said, I don't got a ton of time. I'm working a job, I'm making content myself, but I'm good for like a couple things here and there. And I think it was for this game where they wanted to have a lot of things not here and there. So I did not work on it. Do I have any other interesting things that I can show off? I don't think so. I think that's all I got for today. That's okay. Yeah, I will be back on Saturday with more Legends EA. So don't worry, I am actually going to be back this weekend. And the next as well. I'm not going anywhere. So that's all good. I think January 3rd, is that a Saturday? Yes. January 3rd, there's a chance I won't be streaming because that's when my family is going to be having, on my side of the family, we're going to be having a little Christmas get-together then, such that, you know, my oldest brother can come in between job and child, and, you know, Spap's also having job. Like, we always plan around, when are you free? Because they're the ones traveling in the furthest, and so I'm not going to be streaming that day. If that is going to be anywhere close to stream time, I don't know for sure. But yeah, that's all I got. So I will be back. Yeah, again, my secret SM project, which I know I literally, if you want to know which project this is the project that at my start of the year, last year in review stream, one of the things I said I wanted to do was work on that project. I did not. Well, I did a little. But I do next year for sure is what I'm gonna say to that one. Yeah, because that's gonna come up as a part of my early next year is when I'm gonna start really doing more on that. I just have so many like random little pixel art side projects going at any given time, but I need to knuckle down and submit myself to the nature of that project and make myself some beautiful sprites to share. Oh, wait. Okay, this is the actual last thing. I realized I showed the little thing with the project colors, but I did not show what those are connected to at all. So bear with me as I pull that up. I have a new background thing that I made that's based on my actual background. I felt like, I don't know, I should probably have coherent branding on my pixel art as a bit of a signature of mine. So I made this that's obviously to match the background. And so like in the case of like Fakemon and stuff like that, I can change these background colors to match the typing of something. And be like, oh, it's gonna be like a grassy guy and grassy and Easter type. Sure. And you know, and then this color here would become the project color for the game. So it's, I don't know, like, oh, it's a holiday one, it's gold. So you would always see as a coherent thing, each of these corners and the circle would be like the color of a given project. So you could see at just a glance, oh, this is that project that I've been following, I've been paying attention to. I don't give any attention to the other projects. I hate them, actually. But this one, the holiday one, I love that. Man. Grass Day and Easter type? That's why. Like, I don't know. But that's kind of the idea behind this background. I do like the old background I had, but I feel like it's not as consistent with my branding and whatnot as this is. So I think in the long run it'll be nice. And then for things that I just make myself, you know, that's gonna have the like DB blue. Yeah, it's got. What is there a holiday that has to do with grass? Because I can't have the Easter type and grass type. That can't be a thing. I need a grass holiday that's not Easter, because I already committed to Easter being resurrection purple, as it is called. I did not know was an Easter color, and then I found out that I have a tie that's close enough to that color and wore it the week of Easter, and it was a whole thing. And people are like, wow, you're wearing rejuvenation purple. I didn't even know this had to do with Easter. I like this tie. I was given it by a friend. Well, yeah, Easter Basket's got the plastic ribbon grass, but there's got to be another grass holiday. Wait. Grass holiday. Oh. What? The Google AI overview is just this is just bullshitting me. Grass holiday isn't one specific day, but often refers to Keep Off the Grass Day, April 21st, a fun observance, or the informal guide of using major holidays, Easter, Memorial Day, July 4th, etc., to time lawn care, like fertilizing for healthier lawn in spring, as suggested by MSN. It could also relate to local music festivals like Kentucky's Bluegrass, celebrating bluegrass music. Yeah, let's say it's Keep Off the Grass Day, I guess. Oh, you know, that could be Mardi Gras. Totally Mardi Gras colors. Mardi Gras got green in it, right? That's one of its colors. Right? It's a Mardi Gras and Easter type. Yeah, Mardi Gras. Do they have... Do they not have... Why doesn't Wikipedia on holiday-related pages have a freaking, like, symbols, colors, you know? Like, I feel like those should be, you know, in there. Disappointing. It could also be Earth Day, honestly, to be fair. Earth Day could be green. Spring equinox. Yeah. It's a spring equinox and Easter type. Yup. What happens when you get the spring equinox and fall equinox type? That's a disaster waiting to happen. What a stupid idea. I am not making that a side project. I swear. Nobody ask me for holiday themed monsters where the types are holidays. It's a horrible idea. And we are realizing why in this moment. You cannot have an Easter and Christmas. Okay, wait. Anyone who's Christian, please cover your ears in this moment. It's a Jesus-themed monster. Easter and Christmas. Birth and rebirth. Maybe it, I don't know, like, it dies, it comes back. I think that's, we've solved it. The one type that you can have a coherent concept for. Okay, but now, alright, how do we do Easter and the 4th of July? That one's not possible. You can't do that one. That don't work. Everything else works. That one don't work. But anyways, that's gonna be it for today's stream. I've been rambling enough. But yeah, thanks so much for joining me live for After the Fact. Either way is cool with me as long as you had some fun. It said I'm gonna go do human things as humans do, and you probably should too. Yeah, more ZA Saturday. Yep. That's all. All right, I'll be back on Saturday. So be there or be square. Goodbye.